Hi, ngibingelele ekuseni on a Sunday. It's been very interesting. Very interesting the past week. So, very quick dream here that I had. It seemed like there was pandemonium internationally, and the news were covering sightings of spaceships and all those things, and people were freaking out. So I'm watching from a screen on the news. I think it was Al Jazeera and other networks, because I kept changing to see the different networks that were covering. Now, I'm going to check the TV and the news because Gipuma Pandl and one of the spaceships had literally landed outside in the street. It wasn't huge, it was a smaller one. So I ran inside to check on the news, but is everyone seeing this? Because it seemed to me, from a remote viewing perspective, these things are happening all over the planet all at the same time. So I ran inside, turn on TV, check the news, check the channels, flip them, and I can see that they are covering the same news. And then when I land on another channel, they talk about how they already knew that this was happening. Suddenly, the governments were coming clean about their knowledge of about the aliens. Sazi kuthina ama-aliens now, but it's fine. So I was thinking that was interesting. I dismiss it. Oh, okay, interesting. The gods are returning. I don't share it with the group. I just mice it. And then somebody comes on the group and shares a dream that really, really speaks the same tune about landing of aliens. And I'm like, oh, wait a minute. Really? Because I also had a very similar dream just a day ago. And I woke up today and I see that somebody else has already had another alien dream. So it's very interesting then what's going to happen. And if that's going to happen, it's going to be very interesting. But here's the thing. These aliens, you will find, if you understand your history, you'll find that this is nothing new under the sun. They are not new entities. They're not coming from some far away planet or whatnot. These are the same entities that people used to worship back in the days. Oh God, Ilaba. Yibo labo God bazobe bebuya beshaya ibuya lesibili. The gods of Olympias, the gods of what have you. The gods of Ezekiel and Elijah, who was carried away by a chariot. So ibo elabo God labo, and akusibona bini ninake nithi nabantu abamnyama. Unfortunately, it's not a good thing for you, because these are your enemies, unfortunately, and that you will discover. Yeah, and if you've been following this channel, I've been saying these are not gods, just very angry fallen beings, aka amadimoni, basically. So it looks like they are coming back, and it's not a thing of they are traveling from far away. They're just gonna switch back into this dimension, because they are hiding behind the dimension veil. They've been there and they have been whispering things to their children for a very long time. Nihlale lapho nilencabanga ukuthi hey, these ones are so smart, they're innovating, hey, AI no, it's nothing to do with that. their fathers are sharing with them this knowledge to try and give them an advantage over you. And so far, so good. It's working out very well for them. Speaking of this thing of being intelligent and inventing, the very next day after that, I had a very interesting one where somebody's asking for a group. Okay, here's a group link here on the chat. Katleho. Anyway, yeah. So I had a very interesting one, and it had to do with AI. And again, the scenes were not even Panamanian; it was cataclysmic. I was looking out and I saw that everything had burned to ashes, like it was a global war. But what had happened was some young cat, a white guy, and his son came running to me, and it seemed like the son was carrying something that was going to assist in destroying the artificial intelligence that had gone, like Elon Musk always says, it actually does go there. It was quite hectic to see. So it had literally obliterated the people of the earth, and it was bad, shame. It was really bad. The buildings, the Chile, I remote viewed the entire planet, and I saw all these major cities were up in flames. But yeah, it was just a dream. So this guy comes in with his kid. I shut the door and I open a portal for him. I throw the kid inside there, and it goes into another time-space dimension. Givale, and then I open the door and I shoved the guy out to go with whatever they were trying to fight. So the theme there was, okay, it's fine, we can preserve this one because it has the key to challenge this alien, this AI, and destroy it. But when Abuela and go suffer the consequences of what you people have been doing. So I step outside just to make sure that he goes as far away as possible from my vicinity. And yabona ukuthi vele already siyamfuna la malukuzana. These robots, the robots are coming for him. So ngimshiye kanjalo, and I go back to where I was. So that was the other one. So we have very interesting development in the spiritual realm where the robots are coming, and it's not a surprise, really, when you understand the history and white people and the things that they get up to. It always leads to self-destruction. Everything they do, it just goes back to ngathi ihamba nokufa yonke into abayenzayo labantwana shame. Yonke into, even lapho bethi khona bashayile lento yokuba innovation, lento yokuba very good intelligent wise even in the medical sphere where they invent these breakthroughs, but ama breakthroughs phela base beshayelana izandla abanikazi ama-awards, and then 5 years later we find out, no, actually this thing is deadly. They don't seem to learn. They just don't seem to learn. Shame. They're so convinced of their intelligence. It's not even funny. I look at it all the time and I'm laughing like, they just don't really see but it's fine. It all looks good. It all looks wonderful. We get excited by it. We get hooked on these things that they invent and develop. So we don't ever really see the after effects, except for the time where and the chickens are coming home to roost. So that should tell anyone who is doubtful when I say ukuthi gadani labantu, because yonke into abayenza ihamba nokufa. I mean, everything they do, konke, ayikho nje into encane, not even one sliver of thing ake baqhamuka nayo engahambi nje nokufa. They invented cars, and cars are deadly as hell. Those are death machines. Sihamba ngazo, but those things are death machines. Ziyabulala izimoto. A very benign, you look at it and you think it's a benign invention, it's smart, it's useful, but ultimately, even inventing tractors ulima amasimu, those things are deadly to the biome of the soil. You know, the quality and integrity of the soil is messed up everywhere you go because of this. They are only discovering now with you can't really till the soil and turn it that deep because you're damaging it. A very delicate microbe system is there that facilitates the growth of the plants and all those things. And their first their solution was, okay, I know what we're gonna do, fertilizers. And then they discovered no, fertilizers are actually not great, and so they went and tested the vegetables and the fruit, and they found no, actually there's a very low content of nutrition that's coming from these things that we are growing. But it's empty. Khulu bala nje umbila senuhle. Lama fruits sesiwadla, mango was supposed to be this small. So kukhona fish mango manje umngaka. You check the nutrition content, udla amanzi. You know. So even they know this, but they don't want to talk about, because when it comes to these people, ama faults are things that must be swept under the carpet. They only want to talk about the groundbreaking things, but when it comes to their mess up, they don't want to talk about it. You know, it's very sad, but that's where we are. And it seems like maybe Musk was correct in his assessment to lend to AI is a straight and shame. Let it go for them. Let it go. Yeah, so those were the two dreams that I had. Very interesting. And yes, just to overlay these dreams, there's something that I wanted to sneak in. A very important thing that you must observe as umuntu. You know, when you are dealing with those ancestors, you know, leave those matlosoms out. Those ancestors. Oh, guys, when you enter or join the group there, we have sections in the group. So please start with the boom gate and introduce yourself and follow the protocols there. Introduce yourself, show proof of life. We're not looking to be engaging with bots in that group. We take ourselves very seriously. And if you know that you are not a person who's very good with this thing of interacting with a large number of people, don't join the group. Don't go there. And just be a number that doesn't add any value. It's pointless. Don't occupy the space for no reason. But otherwise, you are welcome to join the group and interact with us there. Start by the boom gate, introduce yourself. You'll see that there are sections there that try to cover all the topics that are available to discuss. So follow that. When you have a dream, go to the dream section. When you have a question, go to the question section. When you just want to interact and engage with other people, go to the general lounge area. If you are having issues, depression and whatnot, and you want someone to come and help you through whatever you're going through, there is a couch section there. Talk to us on that part. Yes. So I'm hoping that I'm very clear on that one. Let's not be chaotic. It's badala, and I expect everyone to be grown up there. Maximum respect all the time. That's the first rule for anywhere. I mean, I shouldn't have to say this, but maximum respect. Respect other people. Respect yourself. So, yes, what I wanted to sneak in is that, guys, our elders are in trouble. I always say, our elders are in extreme trouble. And here's a risk that I see when dealing with them, especially. I don't have time for those ones. Those ones who are similarly in a space of cooperation. Abantu labaya. And as abantu, baneyinhliziyo. And those inhliziyo zabo, you must always be careful to try and pick up the energy. Because abanye umkhulu benu, you see you are struggling in life right now, things are not coming together. Abanye umkhulu benu are jealous. Ukuthi you are going to accomplish something they didn't accomplish. That you're going to finish something they didn't finish. Iyenzeka leyo nto leyo uthola ukuthi khona lapho kini ukhona umona ukuthi lengane le izoqaqa lamafindo thina esahluleka ukuwaqaqa. Kuba khona futhi nama secrets ukuthi wena uzokubhequlula izinto zokuganga babezenza abanye benu. So understand that when you are dealing with people, there are people even on the other side. They are not angels. Now, my angels sometimes, my angels in particular are very dangerous creatures. But you've been given the impression that they're somehow pure souls, but it's fine. I'm going to use that language anyway. But they are not some pure thing who are just full of, who are flawless and full of, what's the word? There's a word I'm looking for. But listen, yes. But ukuthi umuntu usashona akusho ukuthi uselungile bantu. Akusho ukuthi use right. Ukuthi umuntu usadlula emhlabeni doesn't mean ukuthi useyinto enhle, engenamaphutha, engenamizwa, engenalutho. Hey, some of your people banomona. They stand in your way because they don't want you to go to the length that they couldn't. They don't want you to shine because they dimmed the light. So it happens. They don't want you to go uyolanda ikrown yakho because they gave away theirs in very shameful circumstances sometimes. So maybe they feel ashamed. So there's always that aspect. You must always look for. And this is why I always say to you, don't be so concentrated on the spirits of those who passed, because abantu, always question and check. Seek the creator of the universe, because that's where this thing that you are looking for lies. That's where the divine thing lies. So don't be so obsessed with abantu abadala. And I always say, you must watch them, because going back all the way to 1700, 1600, bebengenzi kahle labantu laba. Consequently, sanqotshwa izitha, sathatha umhlaba wethu. Injalo nje. So those ones, they're not infallible. You are because you see, there's a thing, is that it's going to be difficult to try and explain to you Uti. But I've made a very long video about ukuhlukanisa the different types of abantu abadala. Kwela mathongo khona abantu abawelela ngaphesheya, whom you can say they finished and completed their tasks emhlabeni successfully. Abayifeza injongo yokubala emhlabeni. And those people are across the river of time and baphumule she. they want nothing to do with the things of this realm. Abafune lutho sabahlanganisa nale realm esekuyona, because even if it was me, if I die today knowing what I've ticked the boxes that I need to tick, ngiyawela. And masengwelile, I don't want anyone to be calling me. I've raised children zangikhalela ngisaphila. I don't want children azongikhalela sengingale. You know. So whoever is crossing the river to call me to come and help them anywhere, it better be a good damn reason. You're not going to be calling me when you're struggling to finish your whatever you're trying to finish. Sekumele ngwelele manje ngaphesheya ngizongena kule ndima engcolile just because when you can't get your shit together. So no. Even if it was me, I wouldn't want anything to do with this realm. But you see, that's the thing. Dealing with these other ones is risky. It's very risky because basaphethwe izigulo zasenyameni. This is why they are not crossing over. Izigulo zasenyameni zibaphethe. And this is why they are prone to being tricked by ama angels laphana to come here bazonenzisa lento yokuphuza amagazi embuzi nichwase nibe izangoma ningene ku magic ningene kuma blood contract eningawazi, because they are stuck there, they are desperate, they are prone to manipulation. They get scammed because inhliziyo zabo sisengaphandle. They are still grieving. They are still what. They have not crossed over. Injalo nje. And more than half of those people were abused and killed brutally by Abelu. They are angry. They can't cross over because they are not at peace until we do something about the justice. We are not doing anything about the justice. So our people in their billions are still very much sitting there waiting for us to do something. Very angry that we are not doing anything. Because the reality of the situation is, in the universe, a pound of flesh for a pound of flesh and not a single drop of blood. That's just how the rule works. If these people came in here, they need to pay for that in equivalence. Until they pay for that in equivalence, there's always going to be that imbalance across the veil. Justice will have to be served one way or the other. Uguti tina, we think uguti we can just talk, sibe ubuntu, hey, reconciliation. Hey, that's not how the game works here. In the universe, what comes out, the left must come out the right. That's how you balance. The yin and the yang. You understand this concept, but you don't see it in a broader universal sense. So it becomes difficult to you to understand mangiti. Labantu laba abenza imkhuba ebubi mele bayikhokhele. Angeke futhi nje kunisize ngalutho uloko nihleka insinini engaphika indawo. You know. So until we get up and realize ukuthi samagwala and start to do something, only then mhlambe kuzoba khona into eshintshayo. But the bulk of your ancestors are sitting there in a very dark place. They are angry. They were abused. They were murdered in cold blood. Abekho happy. And they want justice. Imoya yabo ifuna ubulungiswa. And those are the people you're dealing with. Those are the people in peace lapha nanibabize emphephweni nithi abazonilekelela. Abantu abahlukunyezwa kanzima. You people, izinto ezazenzeka emaplazini, izinto ezazenzeka everywhere la khona abantu nabelungu izinzima. Hambe lapha nje ukhonga ubone lapha abantu abanqunywa ingalo. Mawucabanga bonke labantu abanqunywa ingalo namakhanda, how are they in the spiritual realm? Befeka buhlungu bengekho happy. Because Leopold lapha izinto ayenza were the most inhumane things ever seen on the planet. But they want to talk about into lapha nago Hitler as if those are the biggest things that ever happened. Crimes were committed here on this continent. Abuhlungu. I always try to explain this thing, but aningi is crimes were committed here. And you people who say that you have ancestors, you don't have ancestors, you have angry people who are waiting for justice. They're waiting. They've been waiting for hundreds of years for you to move. Ukutu karma wenzeni. Karma will be established once people obey the rule of balance. What comes out, the left must come out the right. That is karma. You are not going to have karma when you are sitting and folding your hands and praying to the gods who they're going to come in and exact justice. No, it doesn't work like that. Anyway, this thing of yours of forgiving and forgetting ain't endless, and you are inventing them for yourselves, and it doesn't work. Doesn't work. Even if you are, because inkinga yenu nisuke niba ama-Christian, but ama-Christians angafuni ukufunda iBhayibheli leli. Take for example, if the Christ was someone to be taken seriously, he comes and he says, forgive your enemies and all those things, turn the other cheek, and then in the Revelations he comes back to fight war. He comes back to fight war. Ubuya nenkembe futhi umlilo uzolwa. So where is this thing of hey, turn the other cheek coming from? That's not how the rules work. That's not how the rules work. Anyway, it should make sense. You always need to look at the biological world and how it operates. Even your own body has a very strong input-output system. It does. You see, the bacteria that lives in your gut understands that it needs to live within certain parameters, so it can live there, and it pays rent by generating another vitamin there called vitamin K that you need for some of your bodily functions. Gut health. That bacteria understands the rules, and should ever that bacteria decides to infect any of your tissue there, your body comes out. Is all. Blood cells there, without you even knowing, you can't even tell them, no, just forgive that bacteria. No. You cross the boundaries, you get hacked. Diarrhea because they are fighting. Disturbs the entire what you call ecosystem. Sometimes you even have to intervene by introducing immunity to assist your own body to flush out these things. And then you want to tell us that people can come in and exterminate entire populations. They exterminate. Like I always say, remember the people of Tasmania. The people of Tasmania were exterminated. They are extinct. They don't exist anymore. The last one died in the 50s. They killed entire people indiscriminately. And what do you think those people are? doing wherever they are? Do you think they just simply cross over and all is forgiven? There is no erasure of memories once you cross over. Because you feel. It tells you don't die and then forget all the memories when you were alive and all the things we went through. They don't just disappear. It just doesn't work like that. Memory is eternal, as much as the spirit is eternal. The life that you live, you will take with you to the other side. But yeah. Anyway, so it becomes very dangerous for you to play around with those spirits that you know very well are upset and angry and unhappy, did not finish what they came here to do. Abanye, they were even murderers. And you want them to come and play la duze wakho. And then you wonder why you have problems. Anyway, I would say examine the spirits, test the spirits that come to you. You must test them. You must have a metric system that you use with, okay, these are the sort of things that I look out for. But it's difficult for us because we grow up in a world where we don't get taught to even evaluate our friends. We just have friends. Nobody instructs us in any way. Always look out for this and this and this. If then get away from that person. We have not been enculturated to examine people. And then this is why we're going to always fall victim to the scams of the Badaloms and the Matlozoms, because anything goes with black people. We just don't, and then we pride ourselves both for being these people who are friendly. If you are always agreeable and everything goes, then that means there's something wrong with you cognitively. You can't be approachable and friendly to everybody. It can't be. An entire race just friends of everyone. Anyone can just come in and just do whatever they want. Guys, anyway, it's a Sunday. Abanye ben baye emasontweni. Hambani niyogidela amadlozi lawo. Niwaculele niwatuse Nkosi yami. And then nibuye nizozwa la ukuthi they don't do anything for you because they're not for you. They will never be for you. Amitabha. Angilwe njalo. Angisho ukuthi ngiyalwa. But those are the facts. Examine your own life, examine your own people, and see what you can do about that. I'm just here to just remind you of where you are and who you are and who you are supposed to be. Abanye bathenjiswa ukufa bengavumelani ukuthwaliswa umthwalo ukuze i-crossover yenzeke. Isimo sinjalo. Yeah, those people who get tricked, shame. It's very difficult. But I always feel like you can intervene. But don't understand that this is a talk that you'll have to have with a particular person. No. Masi susa lento silahla le pants. Then you need to do this and this and this for me. But you must accept that once you get into the business of solving these problems, baning bazolandelana. Abagini bazoshaya iQand. Sekumele manje thule yonke le mithalo yabo. It becomes quite a pandemonium. But I guess we'll have to talk about that in the members section When that happens, what needs to happen? Injalo nje. Yeah, so people must join the membership, because I don't want to be talking about serious things in the public domain anymore for free. We have to take ourselves seriously. Yeah. Injalo Kalela, you can't be too good. You have to balance. African alkalinity. Now sukhuluma into serious ukuthi siqala njani lento lena. No, it's very important. But if we know that we are connected to the sun, as we say that we are, how many of us are sitting in the sun in the morning and connecting with the sun? I mean, I said here that men who want to reclaim their masculinity, they must go and sit out in the sun next day. Talk to the sun there. Meditate in the sun. Greet the sun. And eventually you can wear the sun. If you really want to connect with the sun, you can wear it. Ukazimule. That's what the Nkazimulo that these people are talking about. They don't know what Nkazimulo is because they don't have it. But umuntu engaqoka iNkazimulo yakhe. Ukhazimule njengelanga, they say. Now, I don't know African alkalinity, how invested we are in the project of studying ourselves. I don't know, but we should be. We really should. If we really want to get something done, we should be invested, and we should go and explore all the possibilities of who we are, and then discover where we come from. It's an investigation. Let's investigate. Let's investigate ourselves, study ourselves. But I always feel like it assists us quite a lot to also study the enemy. Study the enemy, and then you'll see. Because once you start looking at, okay, for example, you go and ask any white person, you tell me, what was the impulse that drove you out of Europe to come and do all this murder in Mhlabeni? Nanikishwa yini nje Europe ukuthi nize nje nizokwenza yonke lento enenzayo across the globe, risking life and limb, because it was very dangerous to travel the seas, very dangerous, but they did it. And why specifically look for you when there are so many other people that they could have been looking for? Why specifically look for Africans? So then you start checking, what was the utility that the enemy was finding in enslaving black people? What was the quality that they possessed that said to them, oh, okay, we can use these ones? Then you start understanding the quality of black bodies. And then you start realizing, no, man, seems like this man is too powerful. But somewhere, somehow, he doesn't realize it. So he's available for the enemy to abuse. We're too powerful, and there's a problem. Being too good is dangerous as much as being too powerful. When a man is too powerful, he will just self-destruct. And this is where we are. But anyway, that's all for this morning. That's all I wanted to share. People, you're welcome to join the group there. But just remember, start by the boom gate, and introduce yourself. Respect always. Those people who have not subscribed to our channel must subscribe to our channel. I think it's useful that they should, especially knowing very well the least you can do is subscribe, so that at least we can have more reach to people. abadingayo nabo to gather some of the information that we are trying to share. Amithaba.